Hello there, right here. And behind me is a drown farm that we made on stream. Now, this drown farm isn't your typical one. We went ahead and tried to see how many drowns we can get with a single player. So this one is a mega drown farm. It actually produces quite a bit of loot per hour, considering that drowns are pretty rare in spawning. So this drown farm uses a similar concept as my simple drown farm, where we have the drowns being attracted to a villager, which is surrounded around by nether portals, and then the drowns will try to get close to him and end up getting put into the nether portals, taken over to the nether where we can collect them up and then kill them with our looting sword. That way we can get a higher chance of getting tridents as well as the other loots that they carry with them. The player will AFK here in the center, and during the daytime the drowns won't be attracted to the villagers. Once it turns night, then the drowns will try to go towards the villagers and pathfind to them. Once they spawn in, there will be a villager within range for them to go and try to pathfind to, such as this guy here. And pretty much the drowns will try to walk in and get close to him, and end up walking in front of some tripwire, which is right here, which activates some observers, and then comes in and pushes this slime block. And this will push the drowns into the portal. Problem is, because the drowns themselves don't like getting too close to the portal, unless another drown pushes them in, we had to use this method to actually get them into the portal. Once they're in the portal, they'll be sent over into the nether dimension, and they will no longer count towards mob cap here. This will allow it so that more drowns can spawn in. And after a little bit of AFKing, I wouldn't recommend AFKing more than like 20 minutes because this farm is pretty OP. But then you just go through this top portal here, which links up with another portal that is on the other dimension, and this will take you above the drown farm without being inside of it. So the drowns end up in that portal down there, and they get pushed to the side. We can take a look at that using spectator. So if we come in here, you kind of see there is a portal in the center, and then we got some drowns, or a lot of drowns actually, that are coming through and getting pushed out of the portal. Ending up on either side, they're kind of congregating in big huge piles here. There's a lot of them here. And let's see, how many are actually here? Oh wow, 280. And pretty much what they're doing is they're pressing up against these ladders, which prevent them from getting max cramming, which is great, so they don't end up dying before we have to kill them. Because if you want to get the tridents, you have to kill them by player means. And we want to use looting to increase that chance. So the player would want to come in underneath here and have your looting sword. It's nice to also have like the mending as well as the smite to help you kill these guys. You can have unbreaking on this as well, and sweeping edge will allow you to kill off more than one. First thing we would actually want to do is knock out the portal behind. That way one drown that's over here wouldn't accidentally get pushed over and end up through the portal and get teleported back again. You can see there's a whole bunch of these guys in here. Then you want to come in here and swing at them. Now the only problem is in 1.13 they did try to decrease the amount of lag, but XPs are pretty laggy still. So you're going to get a lot of lag once you kill these guys, depending on how many you have. So let's go ahead and kill these guys. I empty out the chest and let's just see what we get. So I killed all the drowns and I picked up all the XPs. First thing you'll notice is that we got a bunch of zombies that spawned in here in the nether. Now this is because every time you hit a drown, if you hit one that's like a leader one that can call in reinforcements, that drown will call in reinforcements, but they're going to be zombie reinforcements over here in another dimension. And yeah, pretty much you'll get a lot of zombies, so it's good to encase yourself in. I have a little trapdoor here which I can get in and they cannot, so they don't accidentally attack you while you're sitting in here. Now let's go ahead and look at the loot we got from here. We got some loot in here, but we mostly got some hoppers. I'll pick up most of it and take it down. In here, you can kind of see the amount of loot that we get in here. I also got some in my inventory. I'll just throw in there. Now, I did do some testing, and I killed, I did a 20-minute test, 10 minutes worth of daytime, 10 minutes worth of night, and this is about how much loot I got out of it. So in those 20 minutes, it produced 1,000 drowns, and this is all the loot from those guys using looting 3. You notice you get quite a bit of rotten flesh just because of the looting. First, you get your gold bars, and you'll get the nautilus shells. You also get some jockeys, so you'll get some feathers as well as raw chicken. Then there's also a chance of getting fishing rods as well as tridents. Now, the Wikipedia says that every drown has a 2% chance of holding a fishing rod and a 15% chance of holding a trident. But 0x looked into the code, and it looks like maybe the chance of getting trident is actually lower. So I figure say that there is about 6% chance that a drown will have a trident on its hand. And then there is a 11.5% chance that you will actually get that trident from them. This means that if you kill any drown, the chance of it actually dropping a trident would be around 0.8%, which is quite low. So with rare loot such as fishing rods and tridents, even if you kill like 1,000 of them, you could get more tridents than you normally would expect, or you can get less, such as I did in this case. So now I'm going to explain a little bit more about the farm and kind of the nitty-gritty stuff and how it all works. And we did all the extensive testing to figure out how this all works during our Twitch streams, which we stream at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And I would love it if you guys would come join. You can learn more about it in the link down in the description. But first off, during our testing, we discovered that mobs will spawn excessively more in 1.13.1 than they will in 1.12. And we're using this similar to like our dolphin farm. I'll link that video down in the description where we put the dolphins at the very bottom of the world, and we were able to get some insane rates just by making a dolphin farm at the very bottom of the world. And we're using that same concept to have the drowns spawn at the very bottom of the world as well. So we're way down here at like the bottom of your bedrock level in the overworld. And this way we can get the drowns to spawn more quickly, because pretty much in 1.13 the game does is it checks the area in which it has to spawn the mobs and looks for every single block, and pretty much the blocks that are the lowest allows it so that the game doesn't have to spawn anything above it. So by having blocks only down here and spawning down here, the game doesn't attempt to spawn any more spawns above it and concentrates everything way down here, which is ideal to get the most spawns. But even more important than that is to have a lot of areas for mobs to spawn. Because you don't even have to worry about getting them down low if you have a large amount of area for them to spawn. As you can see here, we try to maximize the area, so we have a nice circular area. This is going out 128 meters around the player. This is maximum area for the mobs to spawn in without them being able to despawn. Because of this, we can get the most amount of spawns, and we also kept the water only 2 meters deep. And this is a good reason because it keeps the mobs spawning low in the world, as well it allows the drowns to pathfind much better. As we've seen in our previous drown farm, the drowns just don't pathfind that well when they are in multiple layers of water. But by only having 2 meters of water and having some blocks underneath it, they very easily are able to find the villagers and pathfind to them. So in the daytime, you can see the drowns don't move around that much. They're not attracted to the villagers. But once we set it to night, you'll see that we're able to get the drowns to pathfind towards the nearest villager. And the way we got them laid out is so that the villagers are all within 32 meters of any spawning space. So if a drown spawns, they will be able to look 32 meters in a square, so pretty much a 64 by 64 area around them, and they'll find a villager. They'll be able to get attracted towards them. You can see these guys are pathfinding towards this villager here. And the way we got these different modules laid out so that there is less than that much room between each of them, that way they're always able to find an area. Obviously, there's in a circle, so kind of over there in the corner, we might not be able to get the drowns to immediately find a villager. I just didn't think it was worth it to make another module. But you can see how the modules are laid out on a circle, and pretty much allows them to easily get to one that's nearby and go into the portals. So with a big area like this, we're able to reach the mob cap just by using drowns, and that is up to 70 of them. And as you can see, just ones that are around the area that I can actually see, we're up to 50, and there's probably some more over there which I can't see. So we're really just limited by the time it takes them to get to the portals over here. Drowns are able to spawn in any biome that has some water in it, so like the oceans as well as the rivers. Now in the rivers, they have a lot higher chance of spawning than in the ocean, but in a lot of cases, it's a lot easier to find ocean than it is to find rivers. Now in this scenario here, I tested it with rivers as well as ocean, and rivers do produce a lot more than in the ocean variation. I want to know exactly how much difference there was between an ocean and a river. We didn't know it was more. We didn't know how much. So I asked 0x, one of the ProtoTech members, to look into the code, and he found out that in the chance of oceans, there is a 1 in 40 chance that the drown will spawn. Now, if it's a river biome, then it is a 1 in 15 chance. This means the rivers are more than double the chances of drowns spawning in. But then again, it really comes down to the mob cap, because once you hit the mob cap, there's no more drowns going to spawn either way. I also did check the code to see where they spawn within the biome. This did confirm what we tested, where the drowns will not be able to spawn above the ocean, but he found out that they will only spawn 5 meters below the ocean, so in which case you need to go a little bit lower than just the sea level to get them. But for in a river biome, they don't have any limit on how high they go, so they can spawn way above rivers biomes as well as way below them. Now the biggest downside to this farm is the amount of lag that's produced every time entity goes through the nether. Now you can see this with the F3 screen, as every time those huge spikes go through, that's the FPS going down. And pretty much when you see a drown going through a portal, it's going to create one of these spikes, and that just means the game is trying to look for where to put that drown once it goes through the portal. So if they would ever fix the way that portals operate, so that they don't create so much lag when trying to find a place where to put the drown, then it would probably be a lot better to have a farm like this where you have them go through portals. It does work pretty good. You still can get around from like 15 TPS up to like 19 TPS with this type of farm, but it's kind of annoying to see it keep lagging like this. Now we have been talking to Rock, one of the Minecraft developers, and he may try to go after this and try to fix it so that it's not so laggy, but you never know how it is. They have so much stuff to do on their plate. It might be something that they put off for a later date. Another problem that occurs with this farm, I'm not sure if it's from 1.13 or just the mobs going through the portal, but it seems that after a while you'll run out of memory. There might be a memory leakage going on, and pretty much this will hit 100%, and when that happens, it will freeze the game as it tries to make up more room, and then you'll just have to leave the game and then join again to bring it back down again. Now, if you would want to try to improve the output of this farm, you would probably want to increase the time it takes these guys to get into the nether dimension or to get killed by a player. So maybe a case where you have like a piston conveyor that's moving all the mobs quickly to another portal, or having them move to player and kill them. The hardest part about building the farm would probably be coming in and making a perimeter in a big huge ocean, and that way you would have a lot of room to have these guys be able to spawn in, while also having a nice solid floor for them to move about on. It was a lot of fun designing this up and building it on our Twitch stream. We learned a lot about how the game works with mob spawning, as well as drown moving about, and even the excessive amount of lag that comes with 1.13. A big thanks to 0x for looking in the code and figuring out how the mobs spawn, as well as looking up the loot tables for them. And if you guys would like to look at this world, I'll put the world download in the description. I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and if you found this interesting, show me a like and share this with others. If you'd like to see more stuff for Vanilla Survival, go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell button to get notifications. I have a lot of different crazy stuff like this on my channel. And if you guys have any comments or questions, be sure to ask me down in the comments. Bye-bye.